Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So the raid situation is quite wild now, and the entire story about the raids actually starts from a good place, which is one of the reasons why I'm personally not like super upset at Kabam. Obviously it's less than ideal, far from it, when it comes to Kabam's ability to do something without completely screwing it up. However, it was caused due to the quality of life improvement, where effectively Kabam tried to add in gates so we can't take the wrong path and effectively make our run unbearable. So now when you do enter with a specific champion, you can only go through to the paths and the node selections that would fit your champion, which is good, ultimately. The problem with it is that it kind of broke down everything, and there are like 4 posts and 4 updates on this entire situation. So we're gonna go ahead with AQ raids. There was an issue identified with raids where the starting node was placed in incorrect position, resulting in summoners being unable to move to the left or right sides of the path. With this, the team disabled the event to fix the location and starting node. Unfortunately, we can't immediately launch another raid. We'll be aiming to restart tomorrow while using today's new enlistment period. Please double check your alliances. Unfortunately, Part 2. Disabling raids has also disabled all maps of AQ, so all maps of AQ will run for 6 days this week only. Now, many folks have already joined raids and spent their tickets. We'll be aiming for compensation of those tickets by end of the day tomorrow, and so that you will have them ASAP. If you want to avoid double spending, wait for this compensation to rejoin the event. And then, I swear, it's a shit show. Okay. When raids launched today, it was clearly identified that the select number of champions were missing their in-game tags. Fear not, our talented team, though. I mean, this is a third raids issue, but I wouldn't say talented. I mean, that's using the word talented extremely generously. Fear not, our talented team dove in and fixed things up immediately. After a quick game refresh, you should see the tags back on the champions who lost them. As for compensation for spent raid tickets before the event was disabled, they're expected to make their way to impacted players, likely by tomorrow. Apologies for the inconvenience this caused in jumping into your raid promptly. To make up for this, those players also be receiving a few raid revives, and any player in advance will receive AQ energy refills to make up for the shorter AQ week. And then, I can't make this up. How can a company create so much problem? Nothing. Greetings, summoners. Due to the ongoing issues, this talented team has decided to cancel this week of AQ and raids in its entirety and refund any alliance raid tickets that were used to enter. All summoners in any alliance will receive an AQ raids compensation package consisting of AQ energy refills, AQ team potions, and AQ rebuffs. Additionally, all alliances will receive the same rewards from their previous AQ week with an extra level of compensation for the cancelled week. And any rewards gained from this cancelled week will not be clawed back. Next week will be a raid week. This means the following raid will take place only after 2 cycles of AQ, as an overarching schedule will not be shifted. Because of this, starting tomorrow, around the time AQ normally begins, we ask that your alliance re-enlist for the upcoming raid week to ensure all summoners can participate. We apologize for all the confusion. We're confident the next raids in this glorious game. I mean, this is a shit show. Again, I don't want to, be that guy or be overly harsh, but there is a way you can still carry on if you have already joined, and that's when you go to your chat and your alliance needs you to return to your alliance quest. I can actually rejoin my raid. You can see, unfortunately, our pod had not yet started clearing it, so I'm actually faced with a very interesting choice. If I want to, I can kind of clear this map by myself with Hulkling, because he's kind of OP for raids. It will take me quite a lot of AQ revives, which actually I might do if I find myself with a bit of spare time, because I do have 5 days to do that. So if you have joined AQ already, go through the messaging system. You can actually clear the map. You will not get the ranked rewards, but you will get the chests, I believe. Still though, The entire situation, though, is kind of ludicrous. So, again, like, the only reason I'm not, like, super raging at Kabam is because this entire issue effectively started with Kabam trying to do something good for the players, which is to make sure less screw-ups occur at the beginning of the raids when you do have to select your nodes. So now when you bring in an assault champion, you can only go through the assault path. You bring in a tactician, you can only go through the tactician path and select the appropriate nodes in order to have better raid experience. I think it is a good quality of life change. I think it's a good idea. I'm happy Kabam did it. That's where the good things stop, however, because everything past that point is abysmal. They screwed up somehow bugged the starting position for everyone. Then they had to take the raid down, and then they had to relaunch it. Then the tags went missing, and then effectively now there's this whole entire escapade and whole entire drama. And 100% of that is caused by that talented team being incapable of doing basic things and not double checking anything and fucking things up for everybody. So the talented team that's filled with generational talent of programming effectively, can't tie the shoes. And what's the best way to put it? I don't think anybody in community trusts Kabam to do anything without fucking it up, and that's unfortunately the reality of the game. Kabam has amazing art department, there have been some good things happening, but let's face it, like on a very real bottom level, every single time a new update drops, you expect bugs. Every single time new content drops, you expect something not to work. Every single time Kabam changes something, adds something new is coming to the game, you expect bugs. New Valorant season starts, you expect some nodes not to work. Something. And as some will say, it's easy to spot the things that go wrong when everything's going right. But at the same time, though, nobody's having to work very hard to spot the shit that goes wrong. And I think right now, Kabam is not in a good standing with the community, because vast majority of the community did expect Serpent to get tuned down. It didn't. Then, a matter of for a separate video, Kabam out of nowhere after 3.5 years decided to nerf Kingpin. Oh, sorry, bug fix Kingpin, which is fair enough, but 3.5 years, man. And that's on top of the fact that something like Gallon being bugged and missing 2 incinerates for nearly 2 years goes unaddressed. So, I guess what I'm trying to get at is number one, quality control is abysmal at Kabam. We all know this. I personally largely have lost hope they will ever improve. I think they are absolutely incapable of some sort of quality testing and, checking things out before they go live. I expect something to be bugged at every single thing that happens in the game, which is kind of awful if you think about it. But that's not even the biggest issue to me. It's more so the way Kabam approaches these things. Half the time we don't get compensation. This time around we will. Fair enough. But who knows? The compensations are impossible to pay out proportionally to the people being affected always. And this is one of those things where, again, I'm kind of lenient to it. You can never account for everybody being affected differently. Like here, how many items were used by this player versus that player, and who already cleared the map, who didn't. All that stuff always will hit differently based on where you are individually. However, one thing Kabam can absolutely do is choose and pick their battles. Like, Kingpin being bugged for 3.5 years. Absolutely nothing would have happened to the game in any shape, way, or form if they didn't fix the Kingpin. If they didn't bug fix the Kingpin for another half a year. Or ever. Or just communicated it better. Things like that, it's what they choose to give their attention to is where the issue goes down to. Balance program being absolute abysmal joke. And it's absolutely no wonder a very significant section of the player base feels consistently mistreated by Kabam. because they are doing it to themselves. They are effectively the cause of it. Whilst I agree that we as a community often have the tendency to overreact to individual things, but it often is a result of a build-up of multitude of things. And I definitely implore Kabam to be much more considerate when they're making decisions like that. Anyways, that's the situation with the raids. So basically, no IQ this week. Next week is raids week, and well, we're gonna have very fun times meanwhile, I guess. So let me know what you guys think about how Kabam's handling this and the overall talented team being put to work. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all